Jnanakosha, Puranas,
सर्गश्च प्रतिसर्गश्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Varaha Purana. The significance of Dhenu Dan. The Dhenu Dan, as the name implies, an idol of a cow made from powdered sesame seeds, is donated to a Brahmin. The idol should weigh not less than 16 prasthas, that is, 1 prastha is equal to 4 kudav against units of weight measurement. Similarly, a calf's idol made from powdered sesame seeds and weighing 4 prasthas is donated to a Brahmin. Apart from these idols of cow and calf, a devotee should also donate deer skin. While donating these things, he should pray in the following way: O Tildhenu, bless me so that I enjoy prosperity and never experience scarcity of any kind in my life. The Brahmin receiving the donation should express his gratitude in the following way: O Goddess, I am receiving you in all humility. Bless and nurture my whole family. A person who donates Tildhenu gets all his wishes fulfilled and attains to Vishnu Loka after his death. Jaladhenu Dan. The method of donating Jaladhenu is as follows. First of all small area of land is purified by coating it with cow dung and placed 2 small pots are placed at the center. These pots are filled with different things like water, camphor, sandalwood. The devotee should then imagine goddess Jaldhenu and her calf to be dwelling in those pots respectively. Both the pots are adequately adorned with various articles like sandalwood, flowers, and then worshipped. After the completion of the rituals, both the idols are donated to Brahmins. A person who donates Jaldhen or a Brahmin who accepts it attains to Vishnu Loka after being absolved of all sins. Rasadhenu Dan. First of all the area is purified by coating it with cow dung, after which a black deer skin is spread on it along with kushak grass. 2 pots, one large and the other a small one, are placed side by side. These pots are filled with sugarcane juice and symbolize Rasadhenu and the calf. 4 sugar canes symbolizing the 4 legs of Rasadhenu are fixed at 4 corners. After that, 1 small silver piece is placed at the base of each of the sugar cane symbolizing hoofs. Rasadhenu is then adorned with colorful cloths and flowers. Again, 4 small pots filled with sesame seeds are kept at the 4 corners near Rasadhenu. After the worship is accomplished, Rasadhenu is donated to a Brahmin. A person who donates Rasadhenu is liberated from all his sins, and all his ancestors as well as the generations to come attain to the heaven. Good Dhenudhan. As it is applied clear by the name in this ritual, some jaggery is taken and given the shape of a cow and a calf. The land is purified by coating it with cow dung. After that, a black deer skin is spread on that purified area. Some kusha grass are then spread on the deer skin and covered with a piece of cloth. Now both the idols of cow and its calf are worshipped with appropriate rituals, after which they are donated to Brahmins. A devotee should also donate shoes, umbrella, and if possible a gold ring to Brahmins. Donating a good dhenu enables a man to attain to such divine world where sages and hermits dwell. By doing thus, he also liberates his ancestors and the future generation. Shakkara Dhenu Dan. In this ritual, idols of cow and a calf are made from sugar. After being worshipped, they should be donated to a Brahmin. A devotee should live only on sugar for a day. Donating a Shakaradenu liberates a man from all his sins. Similarly, donating Madhudenu made from honey, Kheer Denu made from rice and milk, Dadi Denu curd, Neet Denu made from butter, Lavana Denu from salt, and Karpas Denu from cotton are all believed to be bestowed in comparable virtues to a devotee. Sacred places of pilgrimage. Kokamukha Tirth. Describing the holiness of Kokamukha Tirth, Lord Varaha narrated a tale to Prithvi. Once a fisherman was trying to catch a large fish in a lake situated at Kokamukha. Suddenly a hawk, which was flying in the sky, descended down and after picking the fish in its beak, tried to fly away. But as the fish was a large one, the hawk could not hold it for too long. As a result, the hawk fell on the ground, being unable to bear the weight of the fish. But amazingly, the hawk turned into a handsome prince as soon as it touched the ground. In the meantime, the fisherman's wife arrived there carrying some meat pieces in her hand. A kite which was flying in the sky tried to snatch those meat pieces. Seeing that, the fisherman killed that kite with one shot of his arrow. In course of time, the kite took rebirth as a prince of Chandrapur. She was extremely beautiful but hated men. Similarly, the fish was reborn as a prince. As the destiny would have liked it, both of them got married. There was a dramatic change in the attitude of the princess after the marriage, as she no longer hated men. On the contrary, she loved her husband so much that she dreaded the thought of separation for even a moment. One day the prince had a severe headache which showed no sign of subsiding. The princess became very worried and summoned the royal physician. The physician left no stone unturned to cure his royal physician, but without any success. Somehow the prince remembered everything about his previous birth and had a firm belief that he could be cured of illness once he reached Kokamukha, the sacrosanct place of pilgrimage. So he decided to go there accompanied by the princess. Both of them reached a place at Kokamukha where they saw the skeleton of a fish lying on the ground. The prince revealed to his wife that he was a fish in his previous birth and that the skeleton was his. Then he went on to describe the cause of his headache, which according to him was due to the injury sustained in his past birth when he had been badly mauled by a hawk. The princess was aware of her past birth as kite, so she revealed how she had been killed by a fisherman in her previous birth. She also told her husband, dying at Kokamukha in my previous birth proved to be a blessing to me, as I was reborn as a princess. Had it not been so, I would certainly have not born as a princess. Both of them worshipped Lord Vishnu, and as a result the prince was cured of his severe headache. Such is the greatness of Kokamukh, the revealer of the pains and miseries. Mayapuri, Haridwar. Narrating about the sanctity of Mayapuri, Lord Varaha told Prithvi, there lived a Brahmin named Soma Sharma at Mayapuri. He was a great devotee of mine, Lord Srihari, and had an impossible desire of witnessing my divine power by his mortal eyes. I tried to make him understand about the futility of his desire, but to no avail. Finally, I was left with no option but to fulfill his wish. One day, Somaharsha had gone to take his bath in the holy Ganges. Hardly had he taken a dip than he found himself experiencing the pangs of birth in the womb of a Nishad woman. Evidently, Lord Srihari had begun giving a glimpse of his divine powers to Somasharma. It was a terrible experience for him, and he vowed to lead a chaste life as soon as he came out of the womb. Unfortunately, he forgot everything about his woe once he took rebirth as a girl. In course of time, the girl grew up and married a young Nishad. She had many children from him. One day, the Nishad girl, who in reality was Soma Sharma, went to take bath in the holy Ganges. As soon as she entered into the river, she got transferred into a hermit. She was filled with extreme bewilderment, but this was not the end, as there were more surprises to come. The hermit, previously Nishad and originally Somasharma, came out of the river and looked all around in amazement. He then sat down to meditate, and very soon he was engrossed in his meditation. In the evening, some sages arrived and said, "Sir, how come you are sitting here? You had gone to take a bath. We became anxious and started searching for you when you did not return till evening." The hermit was bewildered by the turn of events, as he was aware of every incident that had occurred. He was also well aware that he had spent 50 years as Nishad woman, but according to the statements of hermits, he had been absent only for few hours. The hermit was totally confused about his real identity. I, Lord Varaha, left pity on his miserable condition and decided to lift my magic spell. I asked him whether his wish of witnessing my divine powers had been fulfilled or not. The hermit eulogized me and agreed that it was impossible for any mortal to understand the ways of Almighty. I then blessed him and transformed him into Somasharma once again. Such is the grandeur of Mayapuri, the sacrosanct place where Lord Srihari has manifested his divine powers. A devotee who goes on a pilgrimage to Mayapuri never gets entangled in the worldly illusion. Kubja Mrak Tirtha, Rishikesh. Describing how Kubjamak Tirtha derived its name, Lord Varaha told Prithvi, in Satya Yuga, at the time when the earth was still submerged in water, I had killed two mighty demons named Madhu and Kaitava. After killing both the demons, I looked all around and found sage Ramya engrossed in his penance. Sage Ramya was a great devotee of mine. I was extremely impressed and watched him hiding myself behind a mango tree. The mango tree could not bear the weight of my hands and became curved. This is how Kubjamark Tirtha derived its name. Very soon Sage Ramya found out that I was hiding behind that mango tree. He realized me and requested me to grant a special status to Kubjamark Tirtha among all the holy places. I blessed him, and thus Kubjamark Tirtha became one of the holiest places. There are several other holy places situated in the vicinity of Kubjamark Tirtha. Manas Tirtha, Maya Tirtha, Sarva Maika Tirtha, Purnamukha Tirtha, Agni Tirtha, Shukra Tirtha, Manasar Tirtha, Saptam Samudrak Tirtha. All these holy places, including Kubjamark Tirtha, are capable of giving salvation to a man. Badrikaksharma. Continuing with his tale, Lord Varaha told Prithvi, there is a sacred place in the Himalayas which is very inaccessible. It is famously known as Badrikasharma and holds an important place among all the holy places. One who makes a pilgrimage to that place gets all the wishes fulfilled. There is a reservoir at the mountain top called Brahmakund. One who observes fast for 3 consecutive nights and takes a holy dip in that reservoir attains virtue similar to Agnisthoma Yajna. One who takes his last birth in its vicinity certainly attains to my abode. There are several other holy places in the vicinity of Badrika Sharma like Agni Satya, Pad, Indra Loka, Satya Loka, Chaturasrota, Veddhar. Veddhar is the same place where the Vedas had manifested from Lord Brahma's mouth. Mandara Tirtha. Mandara Tirtha is named after a celestial tree called Mandar. This sacred place of pilgrimage is situated at the foothills of Vindhya mountain. There is a large Mandar tree over there which has some unique qualities. This tree is visible only on auspicious days of Dwadashi and Chaturdasi and becomes invisible on the rest of the days. Some other holy places situated in the vicinity of Mandar Tirtha are Prapan, Modan, Baikut, Takaran. There is another holy place called Mandar, but it is situated on the Meru mountain. This holy place is also known as Sham Panthachak. One important characteristic of this holy place is that there are huge rocks resembling a maze, a wheel, a plough, and a conch. Someshwaralinga. Chandradeva had once performed an austere penance to get absolved from the curse of his Daksha Prajapati, his father-in-law. During the course of his penance, Chandradeva made a Shivalinga and worshipped it. Finally, Lord Shiva appeared and agreed to dwell in that particular Shivalinga as per the request of Chandradeva. There is a reservoir situated to the south of Someshwara temple which is believed to liberate a man from all his sins. In course of time, this place became famous as Someshwara Linga. Shalagram Kshetra. Prithvi requested Lord Varaha to shed light on the famous penance which sage Shalankanya had performed. Lord Varaha narrated the following tale. Long, long ago, sage Shalankan did an austere penance to please me, Lord Vishnu. There was a sultry nearby, and the sage were ignorant of the fact that I dwell in that sacred tree. When I appeared, he requested me to bless him with a divine son who had qualities like Lord Shiva. I revealed to him that his son, Nandikeshwar, had already manifested and was presently staying at Braja, Mathura. I also revealed to him that although I was present in the sultry, but he was unaware of this fact because of his ignorance. In course of time, this very place became famous as Shalagramatirtha. A devotee who makes a pilgrimage to this place, holy place, is liberated from all kinds of worldly bondages. Rurukshetra. Lord Varaha told Prithvi, this holy place is named after Ruru, the daughter of Devadut and an Apsara named Pramalocha. Devadut came from the lineage of sage Bhrigu. Once Devadut did an austere penance to please Lord Shiva. His penance continued for 10,000 years. Indra became worried and sent a beautiful Apsara named Pramalocha to disturb his penance. Unfortunately, Devadatta fell into the trap laid by Indra. He was infatuated by Pramalocha, divine beauty, and enjoyed an intimate life with her for a long time. Finally, he realized his mistake and regretted his foolishness. He decided to abandon Pramalocha and recommence his penance. Ultimately, he was successful in pleasing Lord Shiva and attaining to Shivaloka. Meanwhile, Pramalocha, who was pregnant, gave birth to a girl child and died. The baby girl was nurtured and brought up by a deer named Ruru, after whom she got her own name. In course of time, Ruru grew up and decided to please Lord Vishnu by her penance. She did an austere penance for 100 years by remaining still at a place. At last, I, Lord Vishnu, became pleased by her total devotion and appeared before her. She requested me to name that place on her. I blessed her, and thus that the place became famous as Rurukshetra. Gonishkarman Tirtha. Lord Shiva told Prithvi, Gonishkarman Tirtha is situated in the Himalayas. Sage Rurva had his hermitage at this sacred place, which was incidentally burned to ashes by Lord Shiva. Aruva cursed Shiva, as the result of which Shiva started wandering throughout the world in a restless manner. Once Lord Shiva visited the hermitage of sage Aruvanam, accompanied by his consort Uma. The purpose of the visit was to seek Aruvanam's help in curing his restlessness. Sage Aruvan advised him to have a bath with the milk of Surabhi cow. I, Lord Vishnu, then brought down 77 Surabhi cows from the heaven and thus helped Shiva take bath with their milk. At last Shiva's restlessness came to an end, and this holy place became famous as Gonishkarman Tirtha. Stustaswati Tirtha. Lord Varaha then went on to describe the greatness of Stutaswami Tirtha and told Prithvi, I shall incarnate as Krishna at this place in the era of Dwapar. I shall take birth in the house of Vasudeva and Devaki. There is a pond situated at about 5 kosas from Stutaswami Tirtha. Anybody who takes holy dips in its holy water for 5 days becomes absolute of all his sins. Dwarka. Lord Varaha told Prithvi, there is a holy place called Panchakshar in Dwarka. Anybody who stays there for 6 days and takes holy dips in Panchakshar enjoys all the pleasures of life. Dwarka is situated at the seashore, and the crocodiles living there never trouble people taking their bath. These crocodiles also have one unique characteristic. They never eat anything that is offered to them by a sinner, but unhesitatingly accept anything from a virtuous person. There are several other holy places in and around Dwarka: Panchapind, Hansakund, Hansatirth, Chakratirth, Raivatak, Vishnu Sankarma. Vishnu Sankarma is the very place where I, in my incarnation as Krishna, would be killed by a hunter named Jara. Sanantur Tirth. This holy place is situated between Malaya mountain and the ocean. Nearby there is another place called Sangaman, where Sri Rama, while on his way to Lanka, had confronted the ocean. There are also many other sacred places in the vicinity, like Shashkasar, Shurbakar. There are hermitages of Rama and Parashurama at Shubaraka. Logahargal Tirtha. Lord Varaha told Prithvi, there is a region inhabited by Melechas situated at the distance of some 30 yojanas. This region is surrounded by Himalaya mountain in its central as well as southern part. Lohargal Tirth is situated near the region and is well protected by nature, which makes it very inaccessible. Once demons tried to invade this holy place, but all of them were killed by me, Srihari. I also protected Brahma and Rudra from the wrath of the demons and named that place Lohargal. Lohargal is the most sacred place of pilgrimage and spread in the area of 25 yojanas. It is a self-manifested place and has immense religious significance. Mathura. Describing the majesty of Mathura, Lord Varaha told Prithvi, Mathura is very dear to me because this is the very place where I shall be taking incarnation as Krishna. Mathura is the most sacrosanct place, and no other holy place can be compared to it. There are many other holy places in and around Mathura: Vishranti, Surya Tirtha, Koti Tirtha, Vayu Tirtha. Each one of them has its own religious significance. A holy pond named Vastakrindan lies in Mathura region. Anybody taking a holy dip in that holy pond is certain to attain the abode of Vayu. In the vicinity lies Vrindavan, the holiest place, which would be witness to many of my divine plays. Chakratirtha. It is situated to the north of Mathura, and Lord Bradeshwar has his dwelling place over there. A person who makes a pilgrimage to Chakratirtha and observes a fast for a day becomes absolved of heinous of sins. Kapila Tirtha. Describing the origin of Kapila Varaha, an idol of Lord Varaha made by sage Kapila, Lord Varaha told Prithvi, "Sage Kapila was a great devotee of mine. He had made my idol and worshipped it regularly. Later on, Indra acquired it and started worshipping it. The demon king Ravana took it to Lanka after defeating Indra in a battle. In Treta Yuga, I, Sri Rama, defeated him and made Vibhishan his brother the king of Lanka. This way the idol came under the possession of Vibhishan, but he agreed to part with it at my request. This was how I brought that idol to Ayodhya. After reaching Ayodhya, I presented it to Shatrughan as a reward of killing Lavanashur. Later on, while Shatrughan was going to Mathura, he carried that idol along with him." Govardhan Tirtha. Lord Varaha, continuing with the description of various holy places, told Prithvi about the magnificence of Govardhan Parvat. Govardhan Parvat is situated near Mathura. It will have great religious importance because it will witness a great feat of mine in Dwapar Yuga. I shall lift this mountain to protect people from the incessant rain caused by Indra. There are numerous holy places of great religious significance in the vicinity of Govardhan mountain, like Indra Tirtha, Yama Tirtha, Varuna Tirtha, and Kubera Tirtha. There is also a famous freshwater lake called Kadamba Khand, where people perform tarpan of their ancestors. Gokarna Tirtha. Lord Varaha told Prithvi about the greatness of Gokarna Tirtha. Long, long ago, there lived a Vaishya named Vasukarna at Mathura. Shushila, his wife, was deeply religious, but in spite of that, she was shoeless. One day she had gone to take her bath in river Saraswati, where she found many women taking their bath. The children of these women were playing nearby. Shushila became very sad and, being unable to control her emotions, started crying. A sage saw her crying and asked her as to what made her so sad. Shushila narrated her awful tale to him. The sage took pity on her and advised her to worship Lord Gokarna. The sage said, "You will definitely be blessed with a son." Shushila went home and narrated the whole incident to her husband. Both of them started worshipping Lord Gokarna Mahadev with total devotion. After 10 years, a son was born to them. Vashukarna named that child after Lord Gokarna to express his gratitude to the deity. In course of time, Gokarna grew up and got married, but even after a long time, he did not have a progeny. So his father married him to 3 more women, one after another. But even this did not prove to be of any help to Gokarna, because he remained a sonless person. This made Gokarna very sad, and he engaged himself in various charitable activities, thinking that the virtues thus attained might bless him in begetting a son. He got constructed many temples and ordered well to be dug up for the benefit of the travelers. Very soon all his money was spent, and he became worried about the future of his family. So he decided to go to distant places to earn wealth. Once, while on his journey, he met a divine parrot who possessed tremendous knowledge. Gokarna was very much impressed by the parrot's knowledge. He asked the parrot from where had it imbibed such divine knowledge. The parrot revealed to him that he was Shukhodar in its previous birth and was a learned man. He had attained the form of parrot due to the curse of sage Shukadeva. But sage Shukadeva had been kind enough to allow him to retain all the knowledge in his next birth. The parrot also told Gokarna how it had been kept inside a cage by a fowler and requested him to help it out from the captivity. Gokarna requested the fowler to give the learned parrot to him. The fowler agreed but asked for all the virtues attained by Gokarna in return. Gokarna happily agreed to donate all his virtues and proceeded with that parrot. Now Gokarna had become bereft of all his virtues he had attained so far. Once while he was on a voyage in connection with his trade, the ship was caught in a severe cyclone and the chances of survival looked very bleak. All his fellow travelers had a misconception that they had been struck by the misfortune only because of Gokarna's sins. The parrot was saddened after hearing what people said about his master. It decided to help him and flew away towards north. While flying, it found a Vishnu temple where many divine women and other creators had gathered to worship. The descendants of Jatayu were also among them. The parrot narrated the awful tale of his master to all of them. All the divine birds decided to help Gokarna. The divine birds instructed the parrot to follow them and then flew towards the place where Gokarna's ship was stranded. Finally, they were successful in rescuing Gokarna and bringing him back to the same temple. Gokarna worshipped Lord Keshava and performed the rituals of Tarpan in the name of his ancestors. In the meantime, all the divine women also arrived there to worship. They were pleased to meet Gokarna and gave him divine food to eat. They also allowed him to stay there for as long as he wished. Meanwhile, the ship managed to reach the seashore. Gokarna's companions met his parents and narrated the whole incident to him. Gokarna's parents were filled with sorrow at the fate of their son. On the other hand, Gokarna continued to live in that temple for a long period. He was worshipped about his father as it had been a long time since he saw him. He sent the parrot to bring his news. The parrot flew away to Mathura and met his father, Vashukarna. Vashukarna thanked the parrot for saving his son's life. The parrot then flew back on his return journey and gave the good news to Gokarna. One day Gokarna found the divine ladies extremely sad. When asked, they told him that the king of Ayodhya had destroyed the beautiful gardens of Mathura and this was the reason for their sadness. Gokarna assured them that he would convince the king to abandon his evil plan if he got a chance to meet him. The divine woman then provided Gokarna with a divine aircraft boarded on which he reached Mathura. Gokarna met the king and managed to convince him against destroying beautiful gardens. The king was extremely impressed by his knowledge and presented great amount of wealth to him. This way all the divine women became happy once again. Gokarna then went home and met his family members. His parents and his wives were very pleased to see him. Gokarna then constructed a Shukadeva temple to honor his savior, the learned parrot. It was only because of that parrot that he could acquire such wisdom and knowledge. To express his gratitude to the fowler, he donated all the virtues he had acquired by taking bath in the holy confluence Triveni, because had it not been for the fowler, he would never have got the knowledgeable parrot. Gokarna lived happily for a long time.